Hello everybody. Today we have with us Mr. Robbie Matthew, the academic head at Jindal School of Hotel Management. Welcome to the Collegedunia portal, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. So, sir, beginning with the interview, my first question to you is that being the academic head at JSHM, what are your roles and responsibilities towards the institute as well as the students?
All right. So our objective at Jindal School of Hotel Management is to develop students' capacity to function successfully in an ever-changing global society, especially in light of what's happening recently and what might happen in the near future. So we accomplish it through our vision of being totally a sort of a globally recognized center of excellence in hospitality, tourism, and services sector. The purpose being to nurture dynamic and passionate professionals. So the focus is very clearly on the end product, which is the student. And we strive for excellence by focusing on students primarily. So all aspects of the academic experience are tuned to do just that, be it the delivery of the study programs, the faculty development, networking with industry, developing partnerships, maintaining community relations, and environmental management through sustainable practices. So we've tried to incorporate all of these into our day-to-day rituals and activities so that the end result or the end beneficiary, the student, actually benefits from it. And more specifically, as an academic head, my roles and responsibilities obviously include administration of all the academic programs, which is our degree in hotel management, our higher diploma and diploma programs, as well as the craftsman courses that we offer from our institute. Additionally, typically to an academic head's responsibility, there would obviously be quality assurance activities, which starts off with ensuring that all assessments conducted at JSHM are quality assessed, checked before they are launched for students to attempt. We also do what is called a students' feedback management, where every 6 months, students get an opportunity to give feedback of how their classes are, which means every batch, every 6 months gets to do this. And all the information that is collected is used for corrective action. And the very next batch gets the benefits of those suggestions. We also directly look at student development through counseling. So teachers also play the role of counselors for non-academic as well as academic activities, where they can discuss their personal problems and take it forward in discussion. So there is a methodology of escalating the particular issue, where depending on the requirement, more than one person gets involved in finding a solution for a student. And last but not the least, we have something called as a CPD, which stands for Continuous Professional Development of faculty members. And I'll elaborate a little more at a later stage on that.
Sure, sir. Absolutely. Very well said. Moving on, my next question to you is that how do you plan to strategize and market the institute? And how often does it get updated to benefit the students?
So JSHM offers the convenience of 2 intakes a year. Unlike most colleges, we have an annual intake in July. The academic year is divided into 4 terms, and each term has about 12 weeks each, which includes midterm breaks, as we call them. So each term comprises of about 5 to 6 subjects, which range anywhere between 45 to 90 hours of in-class study or practical lab study. And hospitality programs are more a mix of in-class and practical training. So this is something which is quite different from other programs. Most in class and 50% in actual practical activity. Students get to put it into practice immediately. And what the laboratories do is they actually mimic departments of a hotel. So typically in a hospitality background, So when we look at subjects, they're quite different from your regular engineering, medicine, computers, schooling subjects. So we have subjects by the name of front office, housekeeping, food production, food and beverage service. So what happens is our laboratories are tuned to mimic it, and students actually get to practice their skills at these kind of laboratories. And what helps further is the industry experts who we call from time to time, which usually are people with experience working. They further supplement classroom learning with a unique insight, which only experience can bring. And the curriculum sees progressive upgrades once in every 6 months and reflects the change of the current tourism, travel, and hospitality industry. So these are the strategies by which the curriculum progresses and ensures that it is on track with the needs of the industry.
Very well. Coming to the next question, when you first came to Jindal School of Hotel Management, what was your vision towards the institute, and has it evolved over the time?
I joined in 2007. So it's been about 13 years now.
Oh, great.
With a vision of being part of an international hospitality institute offering world-class education, training, and opportunities to students. So that international word was very critical for me because the prior experience include a lot of experiences in the Indian background. And that's where our international partner, Caesar Ritz, came into play, without having to pay so much of money and having to travel abroad for it. So that was the initial aspect. And experienced and certified hospitality educators from around the world work over here. So we have people representing different states of the country. So even though we are located in Gujarat, so we have people from the south, the north, the west, the east, and that sort of brings in a good mix of wide range of experiences among teachers. And what they do is they blend this international curriculum we have, which we have been trained by our international partners, the Caesar Ritz College members. And we blend it with our Indian methodologies in such a way that students get the benefit of both worlds, one international and one, of course, local. So yeah, that's been my vision. And a lot of students in Gujarat generally wouldn't think about completing a graduation program. So higher studies, to some extent, does not get a lot of focus over here because people love to get into business at the earliest. And yeah, it took a little bit of convincing to make students understand the relevance of why getting a qualified undergraduate degree was so critical to success in future, whether it is in business or for higher studies.
Right. On that note, my next question is, how does the curriculum of JSHM ensure the best practice of the industry?
So JSHM's curriculum reflects the best practices of hospitality industry in three aspects. And why we've done it in three aspects is because that is how it progresses ultimately during study. Staff and management following the highest levels of grooming, courteousness, interpersonal behavior, business and dining etiquette, community relationships, among others. So as soon as a student walks into this place, starting day one, these are the behavioral elements which are on display. And it's quite natural for them to pick up on those cues, and the learning starts even before they enter the first class. Number two is operational, which comes as they attend each day's classroom and practical sessions. So the practice of hygiene and sanitation, standard operating procedures in each department, fiscal prudence, human resource management, safety and security, among others, all come into play in the operational strategies or best practices. The third, which is problem solving, is quite an interesting one. So as a student progresses from year 1 to year 3,
that's very well said, sir. Moving to the last part of the interview, I'd like to ask you to give a few suggestions and advices to the current youth as well as the aspiring students.
So I've always taken guidance from a very interesting and inspiring vision, which is the gentleman who started the Caesar Ritz, or let's say the Ritz group of hotels in the world, one of the world's first luxury chains. So this was started by none other than a Swiss gentleman by the name of Caesar Ritz. So of course he lived at a very different. I'd like to borrow from his advice to youngsters who are seeking this career. So he lived, of course, between 1850 and 1918. but ensured that his legacy carried on. And these are the words he had for youngsters who are looking at this. So what he said was, anyone who aspires to lasting success in the hotel business must master his profession to the same time diplomatic, having a good knowledge of human nature, speak a number of foreign languages. Moreover, he should be practically inclined and knowledgeable about the rational administration of a hotel. Above all, he must love his profession more than anything else. So, although it's a bit long, what he did was he listed out all the qualities and which a youngster needs to pick up to get into this profession and be successful. I hope it inspires future generations.
That's pretty great, sir. Those were some really motivational words. I hope, I'm sure our audience is going to find that pretty motivating. Thank you so much for your time. On this note, I'd like to conclude the interview. So that's all from my end. That was.
Thank you, Mr. Hemsha. It was nice speaking to you.
Thank you, sir.